My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, and I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Noonas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
And it is 2026. We're back, baby.
Crazy.
We're back. Well, technically, like, we did put out an episode, but like,
but now we're
recorded that in 2025. We're now we're recording this in 2026. Yeah. It's different.
We're not time traveling anymore.
No, we're not time traveling.
But we wanted to talk about it.
That's exactly how we wanted to come into this year, with some energy and talking to y'all about our favorite time travel dramas with the first of 2026 Drama Gems. That's right. This is a series that we do where basically we pick a topic, a genre, a theme, something, whatever sparks our joy at that moment, and we come give you some recommendations for dramas you may or may not have seen or heard of, and that we think you might enjoy if you like dramas that we like. Mm-hmm. That's the whole concept. That's what we're doing. Each of us has handpicked 2 delightful dramas, and we're going to go in a little round robin situation. And the way that I will randomly like roll a dice and select, but today I'm doing it in the order that we arrived at the recording. And so I'm first because I run the recording studio, so I'm always the first one at the recording. But anyway, I would like to talk to you about a time travel drama that is 12 episodes long. It aired in 2023. It is a Korean drama, and it has one of my favorite vibes, and that is this was definitely remade as a vertical since then. And that is the drama Perfect Marriage Revenge, starring Sung Hoon and Jung Yoo Min. This drama's got everything. Before I even start on the time travel aspect, which does happen in the first episode, so like this isn't even like a spoiler, okay? This is just the main plot. If you've never watched a mukbang and you're like, I don't think I can get into them because they're usually like 30 plus episodes, like, you know, a weekend drama, like they take forever. Don't you worry. They managed to condense one into 12 precise episodes, and this little bad boy has everything. So you start out with our main character, who is a painter who was adopted by a rich family who treat her terribly. They basically act like she doesn't exist, but they gave her a pity job. And the pity job was that she paints recreations of paintings to hang in like orphanages and like, you know, low income homes and stuff so that people can experience art if they don't have, you know, mobility to get to museums. That's like the concepts. They don't have to have prints. They can have actual like paintings. So that is what she has been informed her job that she is doing. She's married to this guy and lives with his family, and he kind of sucks. And so she's going to this art show. She has painted this beautiful family portrait of her family. And she shows up at this art show where her family's like, why the fuck are you even here? I don't give a shit about this painting. Like, but then this other lady's like, wow, that's like a really cool painting. Like, I didn't know you were so talented. And then it really quickly unravels because her younger sister wants to marry this rich dude from a rich family who's there at the museum. Okay. But meanwhile, the cops then show up because her adoptive mother has been actually using her paintings to commit forgery and art theft.
Of course.
And has pinned it on her. And is like, don't worry. Like, you just got to go to jail for like a couple years and it'll all be fine. And she's like, what do you mean? So she like takes off because she's like, fuck my family, fuck this. She finds out her brother, or no, not her brother, sorry, her husband is in love with her sister. Her husband's in love with her sister, is like planning to leave her to like get with the sister who's trying to marry the rich dude. The rich dude is not interested in any of this, okay? And then, so she like takes off and she's like, I can't believe this is happening to me. This is bullshit. My family is crazy. She then gets into a horrible car accident and ends up in the hospital. And she's like semi-conscious in a coma, and her adoptive mom shows up and is like, I hated you your whole life. Maybe in your next life, you should like do better. And then basically pulls the plug and murders her. Okay? She then wakes up in the bridal shop before she marries her husband.
Oh, that's lucky.
Yeah. She wakes up and she's trying on a wedding dress, and then is like, and this is like, you know, a couple years before all this goes down. All right. Mm-hmm. And she's like, you know what? Nuh-uh. I'm going to not marry this scrub and his like parasitic family, because also there's a whole thing about the family.
They're terrible.
I'm going to get revenge on my adoptive family who's terrible to me, and I'm going to seduce the rich guy that my sister's into. And it just sort of proceeds from there.
That was all the first 30 minutes, right?
It was literally the first episode.
Yeah.
That's literally the first episode. And then it keeps getting crazier from there. So the time travel episode is obviously she travels back in time as a classic reborn to redo, you know, the things to get revenge before the revenge needed to be got. It's pretty much a perfect distillation of the reborn for revenge genre. Yeah. It also has Sung-hoon, who is the actor playing the rich guy, as the best husband of all time.
Oh my gosh,
KDrama.
he's so great.
He's too much. He's so good.
And he's rich.
And he's rich, and he's handsome, and he runs his own business. Also,
and he has furniture.
Yeah, he's an interior, like he does like.
I'm just saying that's extra funny.
Yeah, so like his family, his
out of a box.
Yeah, so his family owns like a construction conglomerate. That his grandmother started, and his older brother, who is disabled, runs. But his older brother might be a little evil. There might be a little bit of stuff there. He's got like a sister. He's got like an overbearing mother. Like it's
you're remembering all these details so well, but didn't you watch it like quite a while ago?
Yes, but I may have been sick in November and rewatched it.
Okay.
Nice.
That makes a lot more sense.
Because I can't give this detail on any of the books that I have.
There's a
Every
lot
time
more.
something, I'm like, oh yeah.
So that makes a lot more sense for recency on that.
You're like, wow, like she must really love this. She's really
didn't you watch it essentially as it was airing?
I watched it as it was airing, and I think Amanda and I watched it together as it was airing, and we're obsessed with this drama. It's basically the perfect distillation of that particular genre, very makjang-y, but like not in a way that you're like being like, ugh, like when you're watching it, you're just like, yes, evil, yes.
It's like a good makjang for somebody who's into rom-coms.
Yes.
Because like it's a little lighter, a little sweeter, and the good like the good stuff's real good, you know.
But then also the good stuff's real good.
The good stuff is also
there
good.
are so many irredeemable people in this show, and it's chef's kiss.
Like everybody
perfection.
Gets what they deserve. And
there ain't no redemption arcs, baby. Not in Perfect Marriage Revenge. Absolutely not. Not on the watch of this show. And it's only 12 episodes. So like really, like if you've ever been like, I really wish I could get into a weekender, but like I just don't have that kind of time. Don't you worry. This show took care of that for you. It gives you the full experience, but it cuts out all like the faff, you know? And that one, I do believe, it is on Viki. So you can easily partake in watching it. Easy to find, good fun, Big thumbs up recommendation from old Natalia. Perfect Marriage Revenge.
And sounds like from Amanda too.
Yeah.
It was one of the ones on my list. I'm like,
My bad.
That is okay.
But speaking of your list, Amanda, what is the first one on it?
Right off the bat, first thing I thought of was the 2017 drama Tomorrow with You. Jessie did mention before we started recording that we did talk about it a fair bit in our Lee Ji-hoon episode, but that was like 5-ish years ago, so I'm going to talk about it again.
That's fine.
But I did go back and rewatch the first episode. It is all for free on Tubi right now, so you can go have yourself a little watch if you haven't before. So yeah, because I was kind of remembering it in general, but like I thought, it's right there. I'll go rewatch the first episode, and I'm like, yeah, it holds up. I will say that it's an almost 10-year-old drama, and it definitely does. It holds up. The one part that doesn't hold up is that it's set in 2016, and a lot of the time travel goes to like 2018, 2019, and they imagine some technological wonders occurring that have not yet occurred. So, but other than that, it's fine. So the basic premise of this one is this is a like time traveling. He's literally traveling. He's getting in the subway, and when he goes one direction, he goes into the future, and when he gets back on and comes back, he comes back to his present time. And he uses this to become a real estate investment mogul because, you know, he goes a couple years in the future and like, oh, okay, like this area is gentrifying. Let's go buy that up now. And, you know, all this kind of nonsense. The female lead is Shin Min-ah. She's delightful in it. I remember that when this was airing, I watched it currently airing with my sister, and a lot of people really didn't like her character. And I remember being really put off by her character in the first episode. Rewatching it now with more K-drama under my belt and more understanding of Korean culture and like some of the stuff that goes on and the life of child actors and things, a lot of her character makes a lot more sense to me now. So like I found her much more sympathetic on a rewatch. But she plays an alcoholic who wants to be a photographer, but who can't be taken seriously for anything because she was a super famous child actress who starred in this historical weekender that was named after her character, Bapsoon, when she was like 8 or something. And she's 30 now, and people still call her Bapsoon. Like her mother calls her Bapsoon. And she's like, for God's sakes, mother, you gave me a name. Please, could you use my actual name, not this character I played 25 years ago? Like, come on. But her mother has been riding on the coattails of her famous daughter, who's only famous for, like, basically getting drunk in public now. And she's got it rough. And you realize, like, I think the first time that I watched it, when Lee Ji-hoon's character starts coming into things, he keeps touching her. He's overly familiar with her, and it puts her off. But you realize now, like, rewatching it, I'm like, no, like, she grew up in an industry where probably she was putting up with touchy-feely men a lot. So, like, you being up in her space is not cool. Like, it just, every little thing that she does feels a lot more. 10 years later, I feel much more comfortable with the character as she's portrayed initially. So the basic premise of this drama is that he travels back and forth, and he can't go past a certain day in March of 2019. And then one day in March of 2019, he happens upon a terrible car accident where he sees his bloody, near-dead body being removed from the accident, as well as this character, this woman played by Shin Min-ah, who he's never met before. And then his time travel mentor comes and grabs him and is like, you got to book it because I know that you're going to die in half an hour. And we can't travel past our lifespan. So I don't know what'll happen to you if you're still here in the future when now you dies, right? So let's go. And on their way back to the present, 2016, his time travel mentor is like, man, I don't know who that woman is, but it seems important. You died with this woman on the same day with her. You should go find her and figure out why you guys are in that car together, what happens, and maybe you can change your future. And he's like, oh, I guess. So he starts like basically stalking her to try and,
friendly
figure out who she is and like why. Like,
harmless stalking.
She's like, that man was in the last store I was in too. Like, why do I keep seeing, like, he's a handsome face, but why is he everywhere? And then he's like, I just saw you and thought you were beautiful and we should, and she's doesn't trust that because
why would you?
People are trying to use her. But he saves her from getting hit by a truck and dying. And so now she'll be alive to die with him later in a car accident. Okay. And then basically he talks her into going for drinks one night. And like, this is sort of all first episode stuff. She's a little wary of him, but she gets real drunk. She's really embarrassing. The next morning, she's like, wow, I blew it with that guy because, like, I was so embarrassing. And then he's there the next morning, shows up at her apartment and is like, hey, I think it's going to rain today. You should take an umbrella. And she's like, okay, weirdo, but whatever. And then it does rain, and she starts to fall in love with him. She's like, this man showed up. He saw the real me and he really likes me. And like, oh, like maybe this person actually likes me for me. Meanwhile, he is using her because he thinks if he can get to know her, then maybe somehow he can avoid his death in 2019. So it's
he's a bit of skis for a while in this one.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a rough watch romance-wise. It's definitely not rom-com-y. It's a mellow. She falls and she falls hard, and he is like, I guess I'll marry this chick and have sex with her. She's pretty and why not? But like, I'm really just using her to like save my life, which is a little hard to watch at times. It is pretty funny at the end of the first episode. He goes to the future and goes to his apartment in the future, and he walks in the door and there's all these wedding pictures. All of a sudden they weren't there the last time he was in the future, and he's like, what the hell is this? And she walks out of the shower and is like, oh, honey. And he's like, oh, my Lord. Like, what did I do? what changes did I make that have resulted in this? So it is, there's a lot that goes on with it. This plot has a lot. There's some mystery involved, obviously, with whether or not, he can stop them from dying in this car accident. But also there's like in the final third, there's sort of like surprise serial killer moment that pops up and some different stuff. It's cool. He's got two besties who know that he time travels. So it's like he comes back from the future and he's like, I know it's your birthday. I got you the latest model of like cell phone or whatever, but it's not even a prototype yet. So don't show it to anybody. Like, okay. But yeah, they're beautiful. It's got great chemistry between the actors, and it's got a good time travel dynamic to it. Like the mechanics of that are, whether it's realistic or not, it's consistent. It's like you go one way on the subway and you go into the future, you go the other way, you come back to the present day. So, and you can only travel within your lifespan is the theory anyway. And I remember the ending being very good. I didn't go rewatch the ending, but as I was rewatching the first episode, I was like, I might rewatch all of this, or even just skip to the last few episodes and rewatch those just to have those that moment again, because I remember it being good and like the mystery being decent. I kind of remember that my sister and I thought the serial killer moment was maybe unnecessary to the story, but it is part of the story, so it's not bad. It was just sort of like, maybe we could have done 12 episodes instead of 16 and it would have been fine. But, in general, it was a really good watch. And like I said, free on Tubi right now. So if you missed it the first time around and you like
check
a
that
time
bad boy
travel
out
moment, go check it out.
Yeah.
How about you, Sky? What have you narrowed it down to?
I know. You're going to pick one that I was going to pick.
I can pick one that you won't. Like I can. I'll start
no,
with
you
one
can pick what you want. Like,
okay, fine. I'll pick what probably everyone. I have to say Twinkling Watermelon. Like I'm obligated.
I definitely wasn't going to pick this one.
Okay, what was on my list?
There's a different one on the list. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It was further down on my list. Don't worry, because I knew. I sensed.
I love that we do this to ourselves. So there's nothing stopping us from actually just telling each other what we're going to pick.
Yeah.
We could just arrange this ahead of time, but we never do.
We're like, oh no, we gotta keep it secret.
Gotta keep it secret.
Gotta keep it secret. It keeps it fresh. Keeps it fresh. Because sometimes then you can see someone's expression change when they realize
it's so weird that we do that. We even tell you we're like, okay, yeah, make sure that you have backups in case someone picks yours.
We could just pre-pick them, but we don't. We just don't.
Okay, so Twinkling Watermelon is a 2023 K-drama. It is available on Viki. The first 2 episodes are free. The rest require a Viki Pass subscription. So just heads up on that. So there's a lot going on with this, and yet there isn't all at once. So a big aspect of the entire show is deaf and hard of hearing and a person that is a coda, which is a child of deaf adults. So you start off watching this high school kid and his parents are deaf and he loves music and he is kind of doing this. I'm referring to the description because I have not watched this in like a couple years, but he is living a double life where he secretly goes and plays music because for some reason his dad is like not jiving with him doing that as he's being a student and things. We learn more about that later. Of course we do. But machinations happen in a very magical, like this. The vibe of Twinkling Watermelon, as far as the time travel aspect that occurs, it is a very magic-y, like there's even like this, there's a guitar store that's all like, it's very magic-y feeling. So he gets transported back into 1995 and he ends up meeting his dad when he was still hearing as a high school student. And he doesn't know, do kids really know that much about their dad's like past? Right. Especially, you can imagine in this scenario, pre-deaf dad, like crazy. And so also dad before he's met mom. So like that's a thing too. But and so you kind of come to find out his dad was really into kind of gets into music to impress a girl, like all these things. It's very, very fun, very, very sweet. Lots of music fun, like band music fun stuff. Band as in rock band, not band as in trombone. Different band. Cool band. And it's kind of like, it's the whole like, we gotta get a club room in order to have this band. So like it's very, very fun. And then he ends up figuring out like, there's his mom who's going through a rough time and she is deaf, hard of hearing. Like I don't remember like what levels of deafness she's
fully deaf.
She was fully deaf. And they tell a lot of her. So it's not just the dad. Like, I mean, they really tell a lot of that character's story as well, which is very, very, very well done. There's a lot of conflict with that and a lot of kind of abuse happening. So, I mean, I'm not saying this is a super light show all the time. There's some heavy stuff. But even in the quote unquote present, kind of at the very beginning, I feel like it took a little bit before we did time jump. Like, we really did establish like the present family dynamics and how they're a very loving family. Like, they are a very loving, they're a lovely family. And he's a great kid. So like, anyway, he's just trying to make sure that his dad essentially lands his mom. Like, that's a big, he's like, don't mess that up. And also like, and then he helps his dad make this band because like he's a really good guitarist. So like he makes this a thing. And there's more to it, but it's really good. There's kind of more twists than you'd think. Amazing acting, but I probably would have really enjoyed it just with the music aspect alone, plus the time travel. Like it was going to be, I was going to be sold whatever, but I really did the level of representation that there was for the deaf and hard of hearing aspect of like, it would show their family home and the things that they had because there was like a fire alarm at some point. And so how, someone who is deaf would see something. So like you saw some accessibility things and you definitely saw when you did the time travel thing and when you see this younger version of his mom and the things that she tries to do when you're surrounded by a family that doesn't care to learn any sign language. Yeah. And so you essentially can't communicate with anyone. And then how your friends start learning sign language in order to communicate with you and how that makes such a big difference. And so like, I think it's just a really cool, of course it's a very idealized world because that's what we're dealing with, but it's lovely. The music's great. Super fun. So yeah, it's 16 episodes. The episodes are kind of longer side. They are the hour 10-ish, but it does fly by. Like it doesn't really
feel
pretty.
Long.
Yeah, and as far as Twinkling Watermelon, that ends up being the little band name. So like that's
cute.
There's not just Twinkling Watermelons.
Yeah, it's not just like a random weirdly translated expression.
So, and then near the end, of course, we do more time travel, and there's surprise things about that, which is fun. So like, I really do encourage people to check it out. I think that I'm not saying that like every single person would have to love this, but I think it is a easily beloved by many people type of show. There's
it's
not
a
much,
crowd pleaser. Yeah.
It's a crowd pleaser. There's not much that people are gonna. It's not boring. It moves pretty quick too. There's really not like a lot to unpack. It's very simple as well. They pretty much lay everything out solidly. So I just think it's a low hanging fruit. Like, and the time travel thing, it is very magical. Do they really? So you just kind of have to accept like this is what we're doing. Sometimes time travel shows like, oh, it's time travel. You really have to turn your brain off when you're playing time travel. Like you just have to be cool with what we're doing. But so I really think that people should check it out. Like yesterday. I mean, it probably would be if someone's into music.
Yeah.
Like, and they'd be fun with some little zhuzh of fantasy. Like pretty fun. How about you, Jessie?
So I am piggybacking off of Amanda and also picking an Lee Jae-hoon from 2016 K-drama that's about time travel. And that is the drama Signal, which is a different kind of time travel because the time travel happens basically at the same time all the time. So essentially, Lee Jae-hoon's character, when he's little, like very little elementary, like school child, he sees a girl who goes to the same school get kidnapped, and she is later found murdered. And nothing happens with the case, and he kind of watches it happen and grows up seeing how it affected the parents and how nothing happened, and he was essentially the last person to see this little girl and how much it haunts him. And he kind of gets into this weird position with like police officers and like just like distrust of the system. But he ends up becoming a police officer or more of like a profiler, inspector type situation. And it's been so long since I've watched it, so I don't remember how he gets a walkie-talkie, but he gets a walkie-talkie, and when he uses it, he finds that he is connected to these other officers. And through time, they realize that they're not talking to like officers that are in the same year as him. They are from the past, specifically during that time when the girl was kidnapped and murdered. And so they use this walkie-talkie to connect with each other, to talk to each other in their separate timelines, and end up like using it to help them find out what happened to the girl and help find the killer. It's really interesting in that respect because it is kind of like playing with the time travel aspect of everything, because it's not like, you know, like him going physically to like that time and like talking to them. Like they're still like in their respective times talking each other at that same exact moment. I also think it does some really cool things with just like the general filming of it, because it kind of has like not like a case of the week, but it still does that. So like there are times when like, you know, they may be following a lead and it's like more tied to another case or just like an individual case. So it's not like you're only seeing the like crime thriller of this one specific case. You do get like other cases each, like pretty much each episode or every other episode. And I like it just, it's super intriguing. There is a second season because it, like, I will say, not spoiler, but spoiler, like it does have kind of a little bit of like a airy ending to it. Like it's definitely, you're like, we're supposed to have a second season. And they didn't have a second season until now. And I don't know if that second season is happening and what capacity, because of things that happened. And the problem is that like one of the things that happened is one of the main characters, like the actor tied to it. So I don't know how they're like going to fix that, because they're like done. Like it was like, I'm pretty sure they're just like in post-production right now. Which I know is sad for a lot of people that have watched it. But I'm pretty sure that like if you've ever come across any sort of like list about the best crime thrillers, Signal is always at the top of the list, and it's there for a reason. And I think Jae-hoon is so good in this role because of his like being so conflicted about this incident, and you just like the way that he does it, it's just like you feel so bad for him, because it's like, what was he going to do? He was like 6. There was no way that like a 6-year-old would have been able to prevent this. And like the way that it like carries with him for the rest of his life, and like the way that they like show that and show the grief of like, I think, I can't remember if it's the mom or the dad who's like just like constantly sitting there like trying to get like answers to the case and stuff. It really is incredible the way it is. And like one of the other police officers from, you know, when he was younger is Kim Hae-soo. So you have her, and she's incredible in everything that she does. It really is just like a great solid crime thriller. If you are like kind of on the fence with crime thrillers, it's not like super gruesome, but it is. It doesn't like not hold back on things, and you do, and the basic premise of it being a child that's murdered, a very young girl, is also really terrible. But I like they just do some really good things, and like it also kind of like him being able to contact them and to solve this case also like helps him through that grief and through that all of that too. And I think it just like it has like every good thing that you can for a drama. And just like if you're into crime thrillers and you haven't watched it yet, like please do. I didn't check, but I'm pretty sure it's still on Netflix, but it's also on Tubi for free. So
nice.
It's really good, y'all.
Yeah, it like even with the like the ending the way it is, it's not like actually terrible. Like it's just like you can tell they're like, oh, there's gonna be more stuff happening. But yeah, I think you should definitely watch it, and like hopefully the like Signal 2 stuff gets worked out, and and now you'll watch it and be ready for it. But
Okay, so I may have mentioned this drama recently, but I didn't go into great detail about it because I did mention it as one of my top dramas of last year. Because it was, but it was also a time travel drama. So really, huzzah. And that is the 2025 Thai gay drama Reset. It's on iQIYI. It was an iQIYI original, which is really funny because at one point they even mention like, oh, you should try investing in like Chinese streaming services for the future. Like, it's like there's a little bit of a joke, like, you know, but anyway, that aside. So the Reset is so much fun. So it starts out with this actor who we're supposed to believe is like in his 40s. Okay. It's just the main dude where they put like they swooped his hair back and put him in glasses. So like, don't be expecting too much from this one. Okay. Anyway, he's just won a big acting award and he's like, oh, my life cannot get any more perfect. So then he goes home to see his boyfriend, who's a photographer, and be like, oh, look at my, like, everything in my life is going great. To find his boyfriend, basically making out with their other friend, and him being like, I cannot believe you would betray me like this. And then they get into a big altercation, and the boyfriend kills him. He basically, not on purpose per se, like in the heat of the moment situation, basically pushes him off like a staircase, hits him with his award sort of thing. He falls to his death and then suddenly wakes up on his first acting job. 20 years in the past. And in a different sort of way, because you're thinking, okay, now it's time, like he's going to go get revenge on all who wronged him. No. Once he realizes what's happening, instead, he's like, you know what? I'm going to actually try to live a better life than I lived and also prevent all the wrongs that I did to other people on my quest for fame, because now my quest for fame is made a lot easier by the fact that no one knows I have 20 years of acting experience and I'm like 22. You know what I mean? So, but then someone he's never met before suddenly starts showing up in his life. This rich entertainment CEO who seems to like really who's like so invested in the success of his career and may want to offer him perhaps a sugar baby style help with his career. And it gets a little messy from there. I don't want to like say too much more from that because like then you get into, you know, like rich family dynamics, always a fun bit. Being gay in the late 90s, not great. So a lot of like closeted stuff, but it was like a really good drama. Where it's basically him deciding like I could get revenge on like he meets his, you know, his boyfriend from the future and it's like I could get revenge or I could just cut my losses before I even get them and introduce him to the guy he ends up with anyway. I could, you know, get revenge on this like douchey actor who was constantly like talking behind my backs, or I could just steal his roles from him and do better at them.
Nice.
I could, you know, like be hungry for fame, or I could take better care of the people in my life that I had like left behind when I got popular. So it's really nice. It's very romantic, but there's also like a thriller. There's like a thriller element, right? Because there's a lot of stuff happening. It's got a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? It is so good. It's one of those where it's like, I wish I could tell y'all more, but I don't want to because that would ruin the fun.
Right.
So we all
like
just watch it.
watching it yourself. I will say, okay, For the people curious, this is an 18+ drama. It is rated R. I don't believe there's any butts for any of the never nudes out there, but like it is pretty spicy. But mostly it's for violence. Like the R rating is like it's mostly violence. It's it's not a pornographic show by any means. It is very spicy, but like just keep that in mind. Maybe if you have a conservative grandma, don't be turning it on near her, you know what I mean? But like 16 and older, I would say, like mature 16-year-olds, some of them are weird about two men smooching, but if they're not, y'all good. It is such an excellent show. I feel like a lot of people did enjoy it, but I feel like there's many people out there who may never have heard of it, and they don't know that it's the show they're looking for. And it stars one of the many Pons, Pon Ponlewitt, and he's so good. He's so good. The cast of this is great. It's so much fun. It's on IG. You should watch it. It's fun. Just time travel, reborn. My favorite bit, as you can tell from my 2 picks today. Love a good reborn situation. Big fan.
Oh, she likes verticals.
There you go. That and contract marriages.
Or verticals like the same trope as you.
Literally, that's true. Like literally every other vertical is like reborn to like learned that the CEO loved me, dumped the scumbag, and got revenge. I'm like, yeah, okay, give it. All right, let's play. Yeah, why not? You got me. Amanda, I'm sure you have a second option for us today.
I do. Of course, one of my very favorites is the C-drama Crossfire, which has a similar mechanic to the one that Jessie was talking about, Signal. However, it's not available anywhere, so I'm not going to sit here telling you all to go find in a pirate ship, because I'm not even sure you can find it with the pirate. Yeah. Like, I've seen people talking about this, and they're like, I can't find it even illegally. So, like, trying to just scrub
it's been scrubbed from the earth,
which is sad because it was really, really good. But what I am going to talk about is an anime I've been watching with my son called ReZero. Season 4 is coming out, I think, in a couple of months, and we're on season 3 now. It's very enjoyable, kind of dark. It almost, like, if you look at it up, the tags are like fantasy, time travel, romance. It's almost, I would say, it's like horror light. Like it's definitely got a horror aspect to it, but it's not in every episode. But when it pops up, you're like, whoa, okay. Like it's the gory bits are gory and like creepy. Like you're like, oh, okay, he's being eaten alive by like rabbits now. Like that's disturbing to watch, but okay. Like, yeah, stuff happens. So the basic premise is this guy wakes up in this world that he's never been in before. He doesn't know how things work, but he's not surprised by it. It seems to be an aspect of him where, like, this is a thing for his family. Like, sometimes you just go wandering through realities or something. So he is in this stall. He's talking to this apple cart guy, trying to buy an apple, realizes he doesn't have any money for this world, sees the most beautiful girl in the world, falls immediately in love with her. She gets robbed by a pickpocket, and he sets out to like find this thing. He finds the pickpocket, and then a witch shows up and viciously murders everybody in the room. And he's like, and then he's standing in front of the apple cart again, and he's like, well, let's not do that again. Like, but
he got Tom Cruise from that movie.
Right. And it's very much, he literally, like, at some points in this series, he will do that. He'll be like, nah, I need to die, because he's got a very altruistic sense of like, I want to make sure everybody comes through this. I'm not willing to sacrifice anybody. So even though this has been the best of all the outcomes, somebody still died. And I'm not having that. So we're going back. And he constantly is trying to like make sure he can get everybody through the scenario, that he can have, it's almost a harem sort of situation. There's a lot of these other female characters who are sort of in love with him, and he loves them all, but not like sexually. He's a one-woman man, but he also cares about all these other people and wants to like get them through. And yeah, like some of the deaths are absolutely horrific. Like it gets real gruesome at times. There are some very dark and disturbing characters in this. The girl he's in love with is kind of, she looks very much like this witch from centuries ago who was terrible and like tried to destroy everybody. And everybody's like worried that she's trying to come back and take over the world again. And so people see her and they're like, oh, you must be her reincarnated or whatever. But she's just the sweetest like being of a girl. And there's a lot of story that goes on with it. And he does reach points where like you reach a point and you're like, okay, we've accomplished this. He's like, we got through that. And then he'll die again and he's back at the apple stand again. He's like, oh my God. Like the first time that it happened after like a lot of story, my son and I were like, are we going to have to do that whole season again? No, like we kind of, they did do a moment, I think in the second season, where it's like he wound up in front of this like apple stand again, and you were like, and he was like, wait, no, what? Oh, and the guy was like, hey, you're back. And he was like, oh, okay, I'm just in the town in front of the apple stand. I'm not dead again. Like, so they did play with it a little bit. But he does like find there's like a new set point. He'll, after a certain point, he dies and it goes back. So then now he knows that he can reach new sort of, I've accomplished this part of the story. Now we're doing this part of the story and I can never get back the stuff that happened before. But that also means that I don't have to redo all that stuff again. And there's more of it gets shown over time, like why he has this power, why it's him that does this and all this stuff. But like, that's sort of the main vibe of it, is that he's trying to get everybody through. He's not willing to sacrifice a single person. It doesn't matter if he knows them, if he likes them, if it's like some random villager that he's never met before, he is not willing, not today, not on his watch. He is going to make sure everybody comes through this crazy psychotic world that he has found himself in. And it is an enjoyable watch. And it, you know, we were talking, you know, earlier about dubs and subs and stuff. And we've watched it both ways for various reasons, and both are good. The English dub is good. So like, if that's
Good
a
to
thing
know.
for you,
Good to know.
and it's on Crunchyroll that we're watching it. So
Sky, have you narrowed down your number two?
Well, so like I just was checking through, like, because these are all my picks, like, are things that I've talked about on other like drama gym-esque episodes. So like I was realizing that, like, oh, I've actually talked about that at length before. So I'm going to talk about one thing I don't think I've talked about at length. So there you go. Il Mare is a movie, and I'm going to talk about it. So it has been mentioned before on an episode, because we like chitty chatted about like all these movies we liked once, and I just was like, hey, it's a good movie. So, but Il Mare was actually the first bit of Asian entertainment I came into contact with a bazillion and a half years ago. Not right when it like was out. So it was made in 2000. This is an old movie.
Yeah.
as far as I should have seen, like where it's available.
It's
They
available
say
on
it's on
Tubi.
Tubi. They say it's on
But also,
Tubi.
you could probably find the DVD fairly easily.
Yeah.
I just went and clicked. It is on Tubi. I have confirmed it is on Tubi.
So as far as I'll quickly explain how I even got to watching this thing. I'm a big Lake House fan. The Lake House, that movie, and I figured out that the Lake House was based on Mare, which meant I had to go check out that movie. And so I think on faith, I just like bought it on DVD and just watched it and fell in love with it. So yes, it is the same story. So like, but if you don't know the Lake House or El Mare, it is time travel based on like letters in a mailbox. So let me explain that for a second. Essentially, there's this house and the house looks very different based on which movie you're watching. But El Mare, it's not quite as like the Lake House. It's a glass house, so like it's kind of like, I don't know, that's kind of creepy. But like El Mare, it's just a nice architecture house. So it's all tied to kind of this house, and this guy receives a letter from a young woman back in 1999, 2 years prior to the present of the movie. And it kind of just and she kind of gives some predictions and things like that. And so from there on, they end up writing letters, and it's not like automatically romantic by any means. It's pretty, a lot of times they're kind of going through like difficult moments in their lives, not like horrifically difficult, but just tough stuff, kind of lonely stuff, but just like human. It's kind of mellow. When I say mellow, not melodramatic so much as mellow. It's a very like chill movie on some respects. Also, this movie was the first time I was even like, I had never seen like manga library type, like places that you could pay to like rent manga. So like that was a thing that I was exposed to a lot of cultural things that I had never seen before by watching this movie. So that was really cool. And not that was like the reason the movie was just movieing. It just was pretty normal. And it's also very wintry movie. Like when I think of El Mare, there's kind of a lot of winter scenes in it. So they're pen paling. That's really most of the movie, and then there's kind of some extra time travel. And if I say more, I'm giving stuff away. So like, and it has been years since I've watched either movie, so I really can't even accurately tell you which is in which movie. But is it highly romantic? To me, it's pen pal for a long time, and it's just kind of a mellow thing, and then it's kind of like. And it's kind of open-ended. And that's kind of the thing, too. It's not like, oh, we get this big to-do. It's kind of just always a question mark type thing. And then there's kind of a question of, like, is everyone even still living? There's kind of that question at some juncture. But it's pretty sweet. And as far as you do know the people that are leading this. You have
absolutely.
If
you've watched, if you've been in, Asian entertainment for any period of time, you've seen these people.
But these were so this was them back in.
They're so little.
2000. So like they're
babies. They're so fetus.
They are. I think that's what so like I had the ladies watch it with me like years ago. And that's pretty much what we kept saying about it. Like they're so young. Like they're so
fetusy. They're so little round faces.
So I really do recommend it. It's a pretty lowish stakes, it kind of. So I think that people would dig it. It's not much time travel. It's more like just letter time travel, and then you kind of have to just see what happens type thing. Kind of like Signal, but not as exciting.
not as high stakes.
Yeah.
They're a little lower. They're a little less intense.
But it's not like healing trauma, like it doesn't sound quite as movie, but El Mare, it really is a fun, like a chill romantic watch. I
think most people would like it. Honestly,
I think you ladies liked it.
We did.
Yeah.
How about you,
Thumbs up.
Jessie? What's your second pick?
I'm also picking another crime thriller because why not? From 2017. It's Korean, and it is the K-drama Tunnel, which I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong. It's a drama that everybody puts as their tops on like a list, but nobody ever talks about the drama. So I'm like, why? Like, I don't know. I just never hear anybody like talk much about it. But I thought it was good when I watched it. I think when I originally watched it, it was on Netflix, but now it is on Roku.
Tubi. It's on Tubi.
Tubi's breaking it in.
Tubi's really getting these like slightly
Tubi for
older.
free. Roku also, like if you already have a Roku, then you have it for free. So it works out, I guess. So essentially the drama is it stars Choi Jin-hyuk, who is a police officer in the 80s. And there's a serial killer that's on the loose, and his team have been tracking him down, and they finally kind of like figure out who he is, and they're going to apprehend him, and he's running, and they're chasing each other, and the killer runs into a tunnel, and he follows him, and when he comes out the other side, he doesn't see the guy anymore. And also things are weird because it's now present day. So he's like jumped 30-ish years into the future. And so a lot of the drama is kind of that like fish out of water kind of scenario.
Oh, that's always so fun.
Except it's like, it's kind of like more focused on the fact that he is an 80s cop and this is present day cop. So like they're doing things that he definitely would never do, but also because it literally wasn't a thing in the 80s. Like you couldn't do these things. So like essentially he kind of finds his rhythm in this, and he like figures out that there is a new serial killer going around, and it has all the same MO as the serial killer he was going after in the 80s. And so he's like trying to figure out how it can be, because we're 30 years in the future. Like that serial killer shouldn't be around. So like, is it the same serial killer or not? And he's also just, dealing with the fact that he's like working with all these like new cops, and also like in his original timeline, he's like the head person, like, most seniority, and he's not that in this. So it also has some of that like kind of stuff. I will say that like this one is a little bit more actiony than like Signal is, and I think it's because of Jin-hyuk. Like honestly, he's just like
he's such an action actor.
He's that kind of actor. But like so he like does end up like finding people from his past that he like gets to like realize that it really is him, and he kind of finds out that like in the past, when he disappears, they just assume he's dead. Like he's just missing. And so like, there's also kind of that like dealing with like him having like, he had I don't remember if it was a fiance or fully wife that like he leaves. Sorry. But like that like whole sort of thing. And I think like there are some parts where he finally like actually goes back in time, but they do share some like they do the not time travel, but like they do show things that had happened in the past and what's happening now. So you kind of like start to like put the pieces of the puzzle together and kind of figure out what's going on. I do think it's a lot of fun. And I think this one, if you're not like super into crime thrillers, you'd be super like more into this one than like Signal, because it's a little bit more like gritty. It still is a crime thriller, and still like the guy's killing people, so like have that, but like it is kind of mostly the action-y bits and him trying to figure out what's going on, but also like being an 80s guy in the 2000s, and just
I always genuinely like love these premises where like someone gets pulled apart, like pulled ahead 30 years, because if you knew the person who disappeared 30 years ago and you meet this person who looks exactly like them, your first thing you're gonna think is he had a kid no one knew about,
right?
Or like this person is definitely in his family,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's classic.
Yeah. It's fun. I think it's a fun drama too. Not a lot of people talk about it. I guess I will say it was an OCN, so before it was hard to find.
Yeah,
like,
but it's on Tubi now, baby.
Yeah, that's not on Tubi. And Roku, watch it.
Yeah, Tubi and Roku said we're good.
Don't
man.
worry, we'll take it the OCNs, and we're all like, yeah.
And it's like for anyone who's like unfamiliar with Choi Jin Hyuk, when Jessie says like it's mostly action because we mean it.
Yeah,
he's an action star.
He's just into it.
That is what he makes. So.
If there's one moral of this Certified Noonas episode, it's you need to make a passcode with your best friends.
Yes.
To prove that like if you time slip or something, you could be like to be able
this is the code.
You know what's like really funny? I just like clicked on the screenwriter for Tunnel and he did Navalera.
Oh wow.
Which is a ballet show.
Different vibes.
Yeah. Very different vibe. I was laughing because I'm looking at my list.
One of the tags is bromance.
I'm looking at my list of like, because I had, a big list. 2017 was having a real time travel moment in K-dramas.
2017 and 2023.
Yeah.
Like,
it was also the height of
how this stuff comes back around.
OCN. And like, I think like, what was it? Voice was like on OCN right before Tunnel was. Like it was a good year for OCN just in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
To a real one. To a real one, I tell you.
I miss you every day.
Yeah. And on that note, we miss you every day, which is why we keep coming back every week with a new episode for y'all. And we hope you enjoy hanging out with us. If you would like it in audio, we're wherever podcasts can be found. But if you didn't know, we're also in video on YouTube. You can also listen to it in audio on YouTube if you have YouTube Music. We try to make it easy to find us. But of course, you can go to our website, certifiednoonas.com, where not only can you listen or watch the episode, you can also, I will painstakingly link. If a link exists for a show, I will include it on the post for the show. The link for that is down in the description box, wherever that may be where you are listening to this. And if you want to support this podcast, like the incredible people who have been doing so for so long, keeping the lights on, paying for our hosting and all that jazz, helping us out, you can go to patreon.com/certified Noonas and join the Certified Found Family. And if you are a member of the Found Family, later this week, there may be a little special additional episode addendum for this episode. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, we hope you have a fantastic week. As always, it's the middle of winter. The flu is really nasty this year. Trust me. Trust me. I'm still in it right now. So please wash your hands, wear some hand sanitizer, wear a mask when you're out and about. Don't get sick, please. Please. And as always, keep enjoying Asian entertainment and maybe check out some time travel shows. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.